I am both not a scientist nor a doctor, just trying to help you out. Hey everybody, today I wanted to talk a bit about breathing while you're surfing, while you're caught inside, so you're getting waves on your head, and what is the most efficient way to breathe. Often I see students not breathing at all, or really breathing fast with the mouth, trying to catch breath. So let's talk about what's the best thing to do. Before we do that, let's just dive into some quick science behind breathing. We know that when you breathe in oxygen, and the oxygen needs to be delivered to the organs and the muscles that need it. Then when you breathe out the CO2, and the CO2 level rises if you don't breathe out. So for example, if I breathe in and hold my breath, CO2 level rises, and this is what gives you the urge to breathe. This is what gives that nasty feeling and starts giving the contractions. CO2 rises, you feel the need to breathe, and so you breathe. So CO2 is really important. Another interesting thing about the CO2 is that we need it for the oxygen to be delivered to the muscles and the organs and whatever it requires. For example, if you don't have any CO2, or the levels are too low, the oxygen that you breathe in and that goes into your blood is not delivered to the muscles that we need it to go while surfing. Obviously, hyperventilation, there's these breathing exercises, right? Where first you go hyperventilate, and we call this lung flushing. You're not necessarily breathing in more oxygen, you're getting rid of a lot of CO2. And basically you could compare this with driving in a car that always says it has half fuel, but you don't know, maybe the tank is empty. Maybe you need oxygen, but you don't have any CO2 in your body, so you don't feel the urge to breathe. Besides from that, because you don't have any CO2 in your body, the oxygen that you did breathe in is not delivered to what it needs, the organs and the muscles. So CO2 is really important, and we don't want to do lung flushing too much. So what can you do? We can do nasal breathing. And nasal breathing is the best way to breathe. Doesn't matter what you're doing. You can be doing sports or just day-to-day life. It, first of all, helps you with a nice rhythm. 4 minutes in, 4 minutes, hear me. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, maybe 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. But a healthy rhythm. A rhythm that a lot of people are stuck with is 2-2. Every day. When we're surfing and pedaling, nasal breathing is what you want to be doing, right? So how do you do that? You want to be breathing first towards your stomach, breathe your stomach out, and then let your chest follow. It doesn't have to be too much, you don't have to focus on it too much, but you want to fill all of this up. So you go. When you breathe through your nose, there's a lot of science behind this, but when you breathe through your nose, the air gets ventilated nicely, and it's the best way for your lungs to take up the oxygen. And nose breathing takes away the danger of just breathing out CO2. What I see a lot of students do, as I said in the beginning, is not breathing at all and just sprinting while pedaling, or going really heavy lung flushes, mouth breathing. And this is also such an important thing. Let's say you're caught inside, so you got a wave, but now there's a lot of waves hitting your head. What you gonna do? A lot of people, when they come up, they feel this need to breathe. This CO2 levels are rising, oxygen is lowering, so you're in this uncomfortable place. And they come up, and so they get rid of all the CO2, but they hardly take any oxygen. And then another wave comes, and then another wave comes. And at one point you might get a little bit dizzy because you got rid of all the CO2, you're hyperventilating, and you're not taking up any oxygen. What you want to be doing, and what I personally do, is after a duck dive or when I come up, just before I come up, I like to breathe out through my nose really hard. And this cleans my sinus of any water or snot or whatever that's in the way. And as I come up, I can immediately go stomach, chest, and breathe out. And this is what's going to give you oxygen. Now, I like to think of it like this. Let's say you come up and you breathe in This one is going to take a while, right? Because breathing through the nose isn't as fast. So now there's another wave coming. So maybe you don't have time to breathe 3 nasal breaths, but you could, for example, go nasal, breathe out with the mouth, and then before the wave hits you, get another one through the nose in. And this sets you up for a long hold down. You can hold your breath for quite a while. If you have this if you breathe in through your nose, into your stomach, into your chest, you immediately feel calm and you can hold your breath for a long time. So, nasal breathing. You can all practice this. I will post some breathing exercises also in the future. But also it's on YouTube. There's even apps you can use to practice your breathing and also your breath holds. We'll talk about it in the future. Thanks a lot. Cheers.